Right, exactly. And I've had the idea for the concept in the book for 10 years. But for a long time it was just a fantasy. And I wasn't at companies where I could do it. I had, even at Hewlett-Packard, which is a wonderful company, a big multinational company, they couldn't get the systems to talk to each other. Or I wasn't in a position of authority where people would really give me the information. And it wasn't until, so I was a small fish in a big pond, it wasn't until I became a big fish in a small pond that everybody would do what I say. Like, I need to have this information, right? And so I went to SuccessFactors, which was only a 2,000-person company. And I ran all these experiments at SuccessFactors, proved them, and then once they were proven, then when we were acquired by SAP, SAP said, I want to do what you're doing at SAP. And I was like, finally, yes. Now I'm on the stage that I need to be to say the message, right? So it's very hard. And most people that I talk to say, oh, my company will never be able to get there, right? So it's very challenging. But you're absolutely right, you go through the levels. And most companies where I was before for 20 years, level 1, level 2, we'd stop at level 2 and say, oh, it's too much work, we'll never get beyond that. And I just always knew from talking with my very, very senior clients, they didn't care at all about anything except for business impact results.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Judy, and everyone enjoy staying recorded.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. David, please, is the manager, regional manager of ATD. We will talk about next conference, about the fee for London. نتكلم فيه عن المؤتمر وما نعطيكم ايضا مجال للاسئله. وعلى فكره يعني احنا نسوي لكم غدا حتى بعد 12 مباشره نقدر تشاركونا في ذلك، لكن فلوس وايد الى الحين صراحه.
I want to thank all of you for coming. This is actually, these workshops that we do several of these around the world. We did quite a few in Europe. We did some in, we have some coming up in Mexico and Brazil and China. And I think from what I saw earlier, this may have been our largest, so I wouldn't be bragging about this in the office this Monday whenever I get back in. So thank you very much. This is my 4th trip out to Kuwait. It's always wonderful to be here. I want to thank Mr. Abdulaziz and Mr. Hajra and Kate and the Training Center for hosting us and providing us with a great experience as always. It's always good to be here. And Mr. Hajra mentioned this morning that 1 year ago, yesterday in fact, Kate and ATD officially became strategic partners. We worked together for many years going back to the late 1980s, I believe. And 1 year ago yesterday, the President and CEO of Team came out and we signed an official partnership and became strategic partners to cement that arrangement, and we are very excited that this partnership has progressed and continues to grow. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our conference in Orlando, the ATD 2015 International Conference and Exposition. It's coming up from May 17th to May 28th. PAID organizes a very large delegation to attend, and so we're going to talk a little about that, what to expect, and for those who attend, the benefits of joining the PAID delegation, and what you'll see at the conference. So I'll be fairly brief, but I want to open it up to some questions towards the end as well. So last year, we made a historic announcement at the conference. For 70 years, we were known as ASTD, the American Society for Training and Development. However, as many of you in the talent development industry have seen, the training and development profession has grown and evolved in that time. So with that, we've done the same thing to reflect your needs and to provide the resources that you need with the work that you do. So we became the Association for Talent Development. We had a big announcement on the second to last day of the conference. So you can see on the right, we were ASTD for the first 2 days. And then the last day, we changed all the signage to ATD. Many people actually came into me and thought that they just changed over everything at the conference and started the next one before we even finished. So, but it was pretty exciting to do that. And we did that to reflect the nature of the profession. So we have about 40,000 members, as you know. We provide cutting-edge resources, best practices, a lot of networking like we have right now. We provide the resources. We want to really serve you as talent development professionals and be the voice of this profession. So we recognize the excellence and set the standards. We really, do our best to help you and provide you the resources you need to excel in your work. I want to quickly point out some of the things we've been doing around the world. I'm actually going to call out mainly in the Middle East because that's where we have the most. So as Jenny mentioned earlier, we were in Riyadh yesterday for the ATD MENA conference. We were good to be there. We were been in Dubai and had a few events there. We attended events in Forma. We had events in Mexico, India, China, Taiwan, Canada, even Brazil. And most importantly, in December, we had a really exciting event. It was quite new, something we hadn't done before. So we offered our premier courses for talent development, the Master Trainer and the Master Instructional Designer here at the Evenhoff Training Center with Pate, and then we had a forum afterwards where we had a little discussion too about innovation and how that affects talent development. So that was just December, my last trip, so only 3 months since I've been here last. It's good. So quickly, some of the resources that we have, with membership, awards, publications, research, of course our conference, which we'll talk a little bit about. Some of the things you get access to, the webcast, the research, networking, of course discounted events, or discounted pricing to events. So at the conference, we bring together a lot of the thought leaders in the industry from not just the US, but around the world. We have over 10,000 people and over 300 speakers. And these are people that are, like Jenny, who are, frontline leaders, who are, top of the game, that really know the industry, and they're the thought leaders, and so they're leading the charge in, in trends and, creating innovation. So we're kind of, highlighting some of the trends we talked about from big data, innovation, performance, closing the skills gap, leadership. So there's a lot of different topics and trends that you can hear about. So we've been doing the conference for about 70 years. We have a large expo and representation from more than 80 countries. So it is truly a global event. So I'll give you some numbers here about what to expect. 10,500 people attended last year in Washington, D.C. 2,200 of those people came from 87 countries outside the U.S. There were 300 education sessions, 318 speakers from 22 countries. And of course, 60 delegations at that conference, 8 being one of the biggest. And if you get a chance to see the exhibition, it's the world's largest in this field because it's 368 different exhibitors, different companies exhibiting their products or services. So it's a great way to kind of see what the trends are and see, different vendors that you might need or suppliers. So the top 10 countries that attend this conference are, let's start at the top. It's Canada. Korea is number 1. Canada is a close second, then followed by China, Brazil. Kuwait last year was number 6. We had almost 100 people, 98. So we're very happy with that. With Pate providing a big resource and really promoting this event, and it was really exciting to see that many people. As far as the profile of what to expect, you'll see people from anywhere from students up to your CEO, chairman, senior vice presidents, directors of learning. So there's something really for all levels of your profession or your career. So you really have a chance to see different speeches, different types of people. It's a really great opportunity. And of course, we're going to be in Orlando. I don't know if anybody's been to Orlando, but there's always something. Yes. So Disney World, Universal Studios, Epcot, yes, SeaWorld. So there's plenty to do outside the conference, although the conference will keep you quite busy. Let's stay a few extra days. So some of the reasons to attend, and we have experts from the field. It's the largest conference in talent development. 300 educational sessions. There's tons of benchmarking. The expo is massive. And something new we're doing for 2015. Because of our outreach, you really see yourself on the map earlier. We've been doing a lot of events. We've been doing a lot of engagement. And even my role as regional manager for this region, we've really increased our reach in this region. And what we decided to add this year is simultaneous Arabic interpretation. So we offer that for anyone that would prefer to hear the session in Arabic. So in addition to Arabic, we have over Mandarin, Korean, etc. But this year's Arabic we added because we wanted to really help out our attendees from this part of the So we want to do everything we can to help them. So the conference theme is content, community, and global perspectives. I think the global perspectives is becoming more and more important as we see the number of attendees that come from outside the United States, and the fact that talent development, along with really business in general, has become globalized. So we're dealing with people all over the world. So that's something that's becoming very important. There's 10 conference tracks. So whatever your interests are, you can kind of search by track and determine which sessions are the best, which ones really fit your need. Some people, what they do is they bring a group and then they kind of divide up different sessions. They all have to come back afterwards and kind of report back on what they've learned. And so we've got a really great lineup of keynote speakers this year. Andrea Jung is the former board chair and CEO of Avon, and she's consistently ranked one of the most powerful women in business. She is now the CEO of America in the US, so she's, we're pretty excited to have her. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. She's the first day keynote. Second is Sugata Mitra from the UK. I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire, but many of his experiments actually inspired that movie from some of the things he did in India with teaching kids that had never been exposed to technology and kind of watching them learn and how they kind of figured out how to use a PC, something they never would normally see. And the final keynote is going to be Eric Wall, who's an internationally renowned graffiti artist and inspirational speaker. He does a lot with different Fortune 500 companies. And does a very creative presentation of the speech, and then also kind of creates like a painting or art with that. Some of the other leaders, you'll see, of course, Jenny, will be there again doing a session. Many of you that were here in December will recognize one of those faces, Mr. Sergeant Glove, who did the Master Trainer session, so he will have a few sessions. Of course, we'll have Jack Phillips, Ken Blanchard, Bob Pike. We're also going to have pre-conference workshops and certificate programs. So if there's a course that you want to take before the conference, you can come a week earlier, take that and do something else in addition to the conference. Of course, the expo, which is 368 last year. I think it'll be probably about the same size, maybe bigger. So different vendors from around the world, different services, products within the field. And one of the things also we have for the international team is the Global Village. So as you can see in this picture, it's Director General of the is there. And it's basically an area that's kind of separated from the rest of the conference center. It's kind of walled off. It's really hard to miss because all of the world's flags are covering it. And we invite all the international attendees to come to get coffee, snacks. There's tables. Of course, Pate has 2 tables with a Kuwaiti flag on it. So we have our own little section off, which is good. And so people really get a chance to network and talk and just even relax. We have a map, as you can see in this picture here, where people pin their business cards to the country where they're from. So within about a day and a half, that map is pretty covered with the exception of the oceans. And of course, this is also networking night, which is the final night of the conference. Last year, we were at this Air and Space Museum in the Smithsonian, and this is just kind of like a fun night. There's music, there's food, whatever. People just kind of relax. It's very just social. This year, we were at the Harry Potter world, so that a lot of people are very excited about that. We've rented out the whole space, and I think they just expanded it too. So we've got that this year. I don't know if anyone's a Harry Potter fan, but it should be nice. And then we have special events for our international attendees. So there's some orientation, so anyone that hasn't been to the conference before, we kind of walk you through what to expect. What you'll see, there's a recognition ceremony for many of our different VIPs or different people that are partners that have worked with us. We have a large reception that we recognize the delegation. You can see Kuwait there holding the flag. And of course, for our partners and networks, we have another meeting where we kind of discuss what's happening and we kind of work together and just see what we're going to do for the coming year. And it's a good chance for the partners even to network with, for example, Pate and our partner in Canada or South Africa. So it's a good chance for that. So, as I mentioned earlier, Pate organizes probably one of our biggest celebrations that we have. I think last year was about 45, maybe 50. It's a really good opportunity for people to kind of get together, especially if they haven't been at the conference. They'll travel with a group. So there's reduced registration rates, which will show the pricing later. We have like a networking room, early batch pickup. Pate does a lot of pre-work that I think Mr. Wilson is going to explain later. But what they do to kind of with the orientation, they help with the registration and getting everything ready for that. I believe you hosted dinner too, is that right? Yes. Yes, that's fine. Yes, and we'll do that. So another dinner just for paints. So the registration, you actually, it's a significant savings on the regular registration. If you wait till April, which is in a month, the registration for a member is $1,800 and $2,100 for a non-member. However, through the conference, if you register through paid through the delegation, you can save almost $600 if you're a member. So it's $1,200 and $1,500 for joining with the delegation. So the $1,200 is for members. Of course, we offer a discounted membership too. So if you decide that you want to come and be a member, we can kind of package that together. It's very easy to register. You can register through paid, and we'll work that out, or you can just register directly online. There's a code that we can give if you're registering with the delegation. And that's it. So I'm going to open it up. Shukran jazilan. And inshallah, I will see you in Orlando.
لصاحبنا في المؤتمر ان شاء الله. تفضل يا سيدي.
السلام عليكم. الكبير تسأل.
بس في سؤال من برا اكشولي ثاني اللي مو بالهيئه وبيسجلون يستفيدون من السعر.
ممكن تسجيل حتى من خارج مو شرط المؤسسات. من الكويت، من الخليج، حتى من الخليج بعضهم اتصلوا فينا مرة وفي من الخليج بنسجل معانا يعني العام الماضي من الخليج نسجل من ضمن الوفد الكويتي واحنا نرحب يعني بالعكس يعني في اي احد يستفيد من الفصل اللي موجود بالنسبه للديليجيشن يتابع الجزء
بالنسبه للفيزا
طبعا الفيز احنا نفضل انه طبعا كل شخص هو يطلع فيزا ونفضل انه يطلع فيزا سياحيه لكن احنا كهيئه نستطيع ان نستخرج فيزا رسميه للي يسجل عندنا في الوقت. طبعا فيها متطلبات معينه نطلب جوازه اصلي مع صور وطبعا تكون بدون رسوم، الفيزا الرسميه بدون رسوم ومدتها تقريبا يعني اعتقد 5 سنوات او وهي خاصه عاده الفيزا الرسميه خاصه للمؤتمر يعني فيستطيع ان يدخل فيها لكن اذا بعدين يروح سياحه او شيء اعتقد انه ما يسمحوا له اذا كانت الفيزا مالته فيزا رسميه. فنحتاط لهذه النقطه. يفضل ذلك احنا دائما نتصل في اعضاء الوفد ونطلب منهم استخراج فيزا سياحيه.
السلام عليكم. انا خلود الكندري من الامانه العامه لمجلس الوزراء. احنا مشاركين معاكم في المؤتمر ان شاء الله. بس حبيت اعرف الفندق اللي بيكون فيه المؤتمر علشان يعني معنا راح يكون معنا الوكيل ومدير من برنامج عمل الحكومه فحبينا نعرف يعني شنو الفندق اسم الفندق اللي
بالنسبه للفنادق المؤتمر في كونفنشن سنتر وفي حواليه فنادق مجموعه فنادق.
اي ما يخالف حتى لو فنادق اللي قريبه من
اقرب فندق دولفين فممكن يحجزون فيه. احنا طبعا بالنسبه لحجز السكن احنا ما نتدخل بحيث ان كل واحد يختار الفنادق اللي يراه مناسبه ولكن لو تدخلون على الموقع المؤتمر في الهاوسنج لما تدخلين عليه يعطيك كل الفنادق اللي في متفقين معاهم ATD على تو هوست المشاركين في المؤتمر. فلذلك راح تجدين حتى حاطين لك المسافات يعني ايش كثر يبعد الفندق هذا عن الكونفنشن سنتر. وفي دائما الفنادق اللي موجوده في الهاوسنج هذه كلها توفر شاتل من باصات نقل المشاركين في المؤتمر الى الكونفنشن سنتر. فرايحين غاديين ممكن الباصات اعتقد كل نص ساعة في باص أو كل ساعة في باص ينقل إلى الكونفنشن سنتر.
محاضرين مسكينين عن استلبي كذلك من ساهم في نجاح هذا اللقاء عندنا المهندس خالد مزروع. يكون مسجيني شكرا لك.